We're back, everybody. Welcome back to Words with Wayman. I'm your host, as always, Matt Wayman. Support us online at Words with Wayman on Twitter, Words with Wayman on Facebook, guys. We're going to hop right in. We got a Hot Spicy Part 2. Local Denver musician, really, really great guy. Felix Fast4Ward, thanks for coming.
Cheers, good to be here.
Heck yeah, so I guess we just left off in the last one. We were talking about basically how you got to Denver, and we left off, right? You know, you got to Denver, somebody that you knew in Houston, you guys moved up here together, or you came and visited him and then made the move. And we were basically just talking about how a lot of people, you just like fall in love with the city pretty quickly. And then you just live here. That's pretty much how it is. Nobody really knows how it happens. You just end up here, and that's your life now. So you came up here, and then you were living up here for a little while, and then how did that go?
Okay. So in that time when I decided that it was stay time, that other ticket, I just wanted to explore and see like what work needed to be done, or what was this calling I felt about the city. So let's figure it out. That was the next main plan.
What can I give to this city?
Exactly.
Which is the opposite of how a lot of people look at it. What can I take from the city, or what can the city give me?
Wow.
You know, which I think a lot of people end up not just in this city, but in every city. You know,
right? It's a mindset for sure.
Mindset. So how did that go? You just were looking for an opportunity to give back, or
essentially. So I feel like one thing in that particular time is like always thinking like, how can I give my best? So that was the thought process, and then hearing all this music and like just like experiencing it here, there was something different about it. It was like I was able to maybe hear more on a deeper level at that point.
So it hit you more. So how were the scenes different as opposed to Houston and?
Well, I feel like they both have their glory points or their flavors about them. So I think it was more of a linear thing of here I am, like how do I now I want to just spend time as attentive and aware as possible, and I feel like that's kind of what the mountains kind of bring to you, because like now you're looking at this gigantic truth. Every time. So like now I don't know, it just
No, I feel like you're absolutely right. I feel like since I've been up here too, I've been a lot more in at least thinking, like making yourself think to work things out, as opposed to kind of just like trying to let things come to me, I guess.
Ooh, I like the way you said that.
Like I feel like this town, like that's why we produce a lot of good musicians, comedians, everything, artists, everything is because we do think a little bit more, maybe.
Fair.
Or just like spend more time
like analyzing it and uncovering, rather than I feel it's just a different
forcing
mode. Yeah, exactly,
letting things kind of be where they should be. So you were DJing up here, I guess, when you moved up here as well?
Yeah, I was going back into hooking up with people and figuring, like, just nerding out again, just scratching. And of course Chris Carnes lives here, and I know him from my battle days, like way back in Houston.
Okay.
So when I got out here, it was like, oh, okay, now we're able to explore our hey guys,
what's going on, y'all? Heck yeah. Hell yeah.
It just being able to explore it on a different level.
Yeah. And that's awesome. And I think that that's the city lends itself to that. So then you started playing some shows up here. And that worked out. You had some good success right away as well.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say even more than I ever had. So it was that linear thing of like, here you are now type thing.
Yeah. And so when did you start making the transition from just DJing into doing more mixed?
Oh, that was out here. I at some point it became apparent, or possible, more apparent that like it's possible to like really spend the time to actually touch instruments in a different way, and like spend that deeper knowledge that the mountains are giving you to like put my brain into these instruments and actually touch them. So did that drive
you to go back to school then to learn music stuff?
No, it drove me to the library.
Oh, really? Cool. Yeah, the cheap school, the free school.
Yeah, that's the free school at your own pace.
Yeah, at your own pace, and you could absolutely. So that you just went there and got some piano. It was piano books.
Piano books and listening to players in town. Chronophonic was playing around that time. man, who else? Yo, Flacco was playing around that time, and just seeing all these different groups. And I had seen Tortoise at one of the venues here. I've seen them. I've seen Stanley Clark on guitar and Rat Tat Tat. That was like one of my first shows, and so I was like, man, okay, so it's possible. Let's go to the library. Let's figure out exactly like how you begin breaking this beautiful mystery open. Which is
cool. As opposed to just knowing that you as yourself have the tools.
Exactly.
As opposed
well said.
Yeah. And we all do have the tools to do anything that we want to do. It's
Absolutely.
just about going to the library.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to go to the library.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of homeless guys staring at me when I'm going in there trying to make eye contact I don't want to make.
No. That's okay.
So did you pick it up pretty quickly, the instrument?
I would say so. That's another thing I feel like the scratch dexterity kind of lends itself to different instruments. So it's like,
and the rhythm, the rhythm,
exactly.
Beats, and I think rhythm. I think everything starts from rhythm. So I think if you have a good timing in your head, everything else than that is just that. You just got to learn the skill.
That's the truth.
I mean, can't teach timing.
No, well,
a little bit.
Yeah. I would say it's definitely all teachable.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. Like, there was a lot of inherent stuff already there to like be able to work with stuff that I may have inherited from both of my parents are from Nigeria.
Okay.
So rhythmically and like hearing them speak and just all of that stuff, it just kind of bleeds through whatever you're creating.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing to say. So then you started playing some instruments and stuff like that, and then were you staying in the same scene, in the DJing scene, or did you see yourself kind of sort of changing into different styles, playing with different musicians after that?
It was meant to be an amalgamation. I feel like just my whole life period is just a representation of amalgamation, essentially.
Yeah, it's not trying to put anything into one specific category at all.
Exactly.
That's what I love too, because then you can go through any genre that you'd ever want to, and it's endless after that. Which is, I think, one of the coolest parts about music is that no matter how good you'd ever get, there's always so much more that you could always do.
Yeah, and that's a way I feel like life is always trying to present itself. Is that it's like, okay, you looked at it this way. Now let's look at it this way. It always gives you an alternate perspective to view it from, which is just a blessing.
Yeah, and it's definitely pretty from both sides. What is your writing process like? How do you
now?
So like currently, what is your normal or what does your normal day look like when you're creating?
Like for instance, today we're in our living room, and I feel like I'll first go to the keyboard.
Yeah.
And then I'll see how my mind is hearing. And then I'll take it to another instrument, then go rhythmically, and then go into my room and work on just my sketches that I've always had, and to kind of add that aspect into the music, so people kind of are able to see the
so kind of like warming up and just kind of like getting all those sounds in your head, and then going and just trying to work constructively on more songs and stuff.
Indeed, and see, I would say, trying to pinpoint like which. Preferentially you're coming from, and trying to like analyze that, like, is that something that I just kind of do because such and such, and it kind of I don't know, I feel like
things about why they go in there.
Exactly.
That's a crazy way. So do you find that you can just force it out, like, because I know that you play a lot and I hear you a lot even when we're down here at this place, like we hear you playing upstairs a lot. Do you find that you can just like force it out, or do you find that like you write better at different times of the day?
I would say it would have to depend on like how much I've been practicing. Cause sometimes if I'm taking a break and then I come back in, I'm completely hearing things different. Cause sound is deceptive in that way, to where it's like, oh, you heard it that way then? Okay, what about in this environment? How are you hearing it now? It's like, life is always kind of, I'm always going back to it.
No, the way that you can listen to, like, you want to see your band play, you could listen to a band play your favorite song 100 times.
Exactly.
You're hearing something different a lot of the time.
Wow. Yeah, because you're allowing your ear to hear like different things.
Yeah. And
you're allowing that multiplicity again in life, and just kind of like creating something of infinity within yourself.
Yeah, just something that isn't, you can't really describe.
Or quantify. You got it.
That's the coolest part. So when you, you do what? How, like, at least an hour a day?
I want to be in like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah,
I want to be in that area, and I have been going that hard for
Nice.
sure.
That's good. I mean, if it's something that you know you have to do and that you want to do, then you should be able to put it.
Tell
put
them.
in that.
That's
time.
where this day started. I remember you
Right.
saying that. It's
Yeah.
all about the commitment and the ability to want to put in time.
Yeah, I mean to have to in some essences put in time. So do you work another job now currently?
Yeah, every Wednesday I teach at a treatment facility.
Cool.
I teach music production and just kind of concepts on everything,
Yeah.
really.
That's
Music
awesome.
fundamentals and such.
And a way to give back a little bit as well.
Absolutely, which is what Youth on Record does, and that's the nonprofit organization that I work
cool.
for.
So just describe for just a second so people out there know like what that is. Like where's that located?
That is located on 10th and Osage, right? You can
Cool.
get off at the 10th and Osage and go to 10th and Mariposa.
Nice.
Go into the Youth on Record building. They have open labs there on Saturday, so
Cool.
get in touch for
Yeah,
sure.
get in touch, support them, give them some donations to
Yeah,
keep them open.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
support what all their students are doing. So how normally you play out a lot? How often would you say?
These days it's like I want to get out every month at least. I should play like 8 or 9 times.
Cool.
Or something like that.
And are you like I know in Denver I've talked to other musicians stuff like that. You have to be aware of like overbooking. Is that an issue for you?
Just
Like
it
so
hasn't.
you can't draw. It's hard.
No, it hasn't been an issue.
Nice.
Luckily, the places that I've been allowed to play at have a built-in crowd kind of.
Cool.
So there's always this like new sea of faces that are able to experience the
They do
experience.
their own promotion a little bit more for it. And then I know something decently big that you had that big Westward art, like you got a little Westward ad article written about you and stuff. Tell everybody how that came about a little bit.
Dang, I want to.
Because that's a big thing.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah, that's like
Such
one
an
of the coolest,
honor.
like just a local magazine that profiles just like the best artists in the city and wrote an awesome story.
Yeah, it was really cool. Alex Wazell works for. He goes by Neon Brown, just an incredible musician himself, and we happen to be really good friends too. So, he moved to LA for a little bit. I feel like he lived in New York for a little bit, and then when he came back out, he began working for the Westward, and he was like, "Man, I've been writing. I want to do a story on you, but let's do this." So it was like more of a reconnection type thing
That's
in that
perfect.
way.
No, it's cool. I think he portrayed you really well, and like I think it was a really entertaining read, and I think it was just. And did you see a bump after that and stuff?
Yeah, there was definitely a spike for
That's
sure.
Cool. Just like people coming out to the shows, or like people hitting you up.
I would say it was just more of a kind of like overall awareness of just like that people are doing work out here, man.
No, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people all the time, like I feel like Denver comedy gets a big, like we get a lot of publicity and stuff, which is like articles and stuff, but I don't think Denver music gets a near enough amount of credit that it deserves, because there's so many good bands playing up here and like pushing it, like not just doing like stuff that people think they're gonna come to Denver, see a bunch of bluegrass,
right,
see like a bunch of folk pickers. It's like it's not like that. Like we got an awesome music scene up here, but people
Which is
just gotta
dope
like
too.
people gotta find no, I love it all, but I mean it's just like people have this preconceived notion of what is going on up here a little bit up in the mountains, bluegrass country, some shit. Which is funny. So where do you see yourself in a couple of years? What's your goals?
The goal is really to put as many smiles on as many as people's faces, and that will require me to travel more.
Yeah,
and just
go on tour.
Exactly. So that's definitely the next
cool
amalgamation of life for sure.
Yeah, are you gonna go out by yourself, you think, or maybe get like a couple other people and just do a thing?
I would say a couple more people, or if it ends up to where I'm able to go out just alone, that works too, for sure.
That'd be cool. And a lot of times, you go out on tour for a little bit, and then you build your own following, and then you can go out on tour after that, that's awesome, man. Well, I mean, that's as quick as these things go. You know what I mean? Don't they?
Yeah.
Don't they just fly right by?
Mm-hmm.
I guess just give it your internet stuff so people can get in touch with you on the webs.
Yeah, do SoundCloud too. SoundCloud is pretty sweet.
Definitely, you got a bunch of music that you upload on there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Your MySpace page, maybe.
Oh,
your LinkedIn page. You got some music.
What else? Oh, I said SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Check out the Forward Movements record, which is out on Chops Record, and there's a Bandcamp up for it, and that's just like my really strong release.
Awesome. Heck yeah. You're the one that you're the most proud of?
Yeah. At this point, absolutely.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then Facebook, Felix Fast4Ward.
Yep. number 4 WARD, and then you can Gmail me too. Send out some demos of stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff that you're working on. I'll check it out. Felix Fast4Ward same at gmail.com.
That's a real sweet move. Don't send them any hate mail or anything.
Yeah.
Send them all some good stuff. Maybe you guys can collaborate.
Yeah.
And look forward to because you got a bunch of collaboration stuff coming out too really soon. So definitely everybody out there follow him, man, and listen to his stuff. And I'm so glad that we were able to get together and do this.
Cheers.
Thank you so much again. Everybody out there on the interwebs, support us online at Words with Wayman on Twitter, Words with Wayman on Facebook, everybody. I want to thank you guys so much for listening to part 2 with Felix Fast4Ward, and we will see you all soon.